Hey everyone, I'm Sam from Bio Cosplay. Today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Lance Crown from Mashle. My MASH video didn't do super well. I don't think it's a very popular figure, but I had a lot of fun with that figure, so I wanted to go ahead and review this one anyway. That being said, I love the Mashle anime. It's fantastic. I haven't read the manga though, but I definitely recommend the anime. The MASH figure was really fun, so I wanted to get Lance as well. Here's a quick look at the package. Very similar to the MASH packaging, just dark blue instead of red. Got a picture of the figure on the front. There's some kind of magical runes in the background. It says Lance Crown on the front as well. A little bit of a window for light on the top. Picture on the side. No picture on this side. And then some poses on the back. I like the boxes for the MASH figures. I think they look nice. I like the Naruto ones a bit more. I think those are my favorite, but these are pretty close. Here he is out of the package. I think the overall proportions look really good. The head and hair especially look a little bit better than Mash's. Mash was still good, but something about the head and hair was just slightly off. But this one I think looks very accurate to the anime. You can see Mash real quick. Might just be that his head was a little bit smaller and the hair was a little helmety, like it hugged the head a little bit. I don't know. Thank you for joining us, Porchy. Thank you. I was gonna say taking a closer look at the details, but instead we're just taking a closer look at the cat butt. It's very fuzzy, as you can see. The cat also features some stripes going down the leg. Those are nice. These come down to little socks. We've got some stripes on the tail as well. The face, one of my favorite parts. Can you look over here? Can you look over here? She's got a little mustache, and I think that's great. You don't get that a lot of times on a cat. So that's a fun feature that's specific to this one. That's her butthole again. Sorry. She's got nice fur, a good coat on this one. It's very thick. You can't tell from the video, but she's really soft. Again, we have the little beans. I do enjoy the beans. Here's a little bit of the background. You can see I have an orange sticky note, so I know if the camera is shifted out of frame of the background. This one's about 11 pounds, which is a little bit chonky for a cat, but not super unhealthy, hopefully. She does like to knock some things off, as you heard. She's very needy and lovable. That's one of my favorite parts about her. She knocked over the background here. That's my sculpting tools, and taking a closer look at some of the details here. The head sculpt is really nice. I like the shape of the hair. He's got the two lines running down the face. Those are very clean. The face also looks very nice. He seems disinterested in being here. He's got the one earring. That's painted cleanly with some silver. I think overall his head looks better than MASH. As for the outfit itself, it's pretty plain. Maybe my one complaint about the MASH figures thus far. It's just navy blue plastic, and then you've got the red for the tie and the white for the shirt, obviously. There's some really nice sculpted wrinkles both in the sleeves and in the shirt here, coming down to the waist. Those look really nice. I would have preferred soft goods for the cloak, but I know some people don't like soft goods. But I think they did a good job with what they have here. There's also some nice wrinkles in the back and on the hood. So a good sculpt for that overall. Also some wrinkles down at the bottom of the legs and at the knee. Those look very, very nice. Makes it seem like he's wearing pants and not just leggings. Since he's super skinny, he could have very easily delved into legging territory if they didn't put all these sculpted wrinkles here. So I think they did a good job with that. On the back is the Adler House symbol, covered up by the hood a little bit. And then there are two hinges here for moving the bottom of the cloak around. And for the pants and shoes, he's got the brown belt with a silver buckle that's painted nicely, and the light brown shoes that I think are the same as MASH. I think the body is just reused from MASH. Let's get him out and see. No, I guess not, because let's see what's reused here. Lance is definitely taller. And it's not just the head being a little bigger, like the chest is placed higher. Let's line up their belts and see if it's just the legs. I think it's just that Lance has longer legs. Maybe the chest is scaled up a little bit, but I don't think so. Yeah, I think they've just increased the leg size on Lance. So my one complaint with the aesthetics is that there's not really any shading on this or paint at all. I mean, he does have the earring and the faces, of course, and then the belt buckle, and shoelaces, but the rest of him is just that navy blue that some shading could have brought it to life a little bit. On to articulation. This is where MASH really shined as a figure, and I anticipate Lance being great as well, since they're mostly the same figure. Looking up, the head can look up very well. There's a double ball peg at the top of the neck and then another ball peg at the bottom of the neck. And the hair will tuck under the back of the collar here. So great range there. And then looking down with both those joints, not quite as good, but still pretty good. His head bumps into the collar of the shirt and then also into the neck if you just use that top joint. Since it's a double ball peg, you can also move it all around, get all sorts of nuanced poses, which is fantastic. A great neck joint. For the shoulders, these will go up all the way, no limitations here. And then for the shoulder joint itself, there's the hinge for that, and then a ball peg in here, and then I think it's another ball peg coming down like an L shape. So there's a butterfly joint that will let you bring the arm forward just a bit. You will get a little bit disconnected, but you can shift and adjust that. And then it'll go back all the way as well. And you can shift that around some. And then more shifting on this outer ball peg as well. There is a bicep swivel. And it looks pretty nice even with all the wrinkles on the sleeves. It doesn't really break those up that much. I think it looks good in all positions. A double jointed elbow that gets pretty good range for the baggy sleeves. And this is one thing I wish they did a little differently. It leaves this like chunk on the elbow. I wish they just like rounded that out or sculpted it better. I don't think it needs to have these flat chunks here. So that's a little bit disappointing, but it'll be all right. The same issue as with MASH. For the hands, these are just the standard ball hinges, so you can rotate and hinge those however you'd like, and the sleeves are big, so they're not going to get in the way. At the torso, there's a ball peg at the diaphragm and then one at the waist. Just at the diaphragm, he can bend back pretty far and then forward pretty far as well. Then with the waist, You can get him bent back very far. And these are flexible pieces, and so is the upper part of his coat, so it won't really get in the way. And then bending forward. Sometimes this soft overlay on the tum pops out, so you have to make sure that's tucked in. Bending forward, he can bend forward all the way as well. So great torso articulation, which is fantastic to see coming off of Reno Ichikawa. And this is a smaller figure in the torso. Like, look how thin this is. So, no excuses for the Kaiju number 8 line. There's also a whole bunch of side-to-side tilt on that. Love that. And then rotation at both those joints. So you can get them really posed up in the torso. At the legs, these will go out all the way. Fantastic. He'll kick forward very far. Back, not quite as far because the butt cheeks are sculpted. I don't know why they sculpted the butt cheeks. They didn't need to, especially since it's covered. And they're like, it's sculpted like a square. Like there's a sharp point here that gets in the way. If they rounded it out, you might have been able to kick it out at an angle some, but it's fine. A thigh swivel, that's on a ball joint, so you can shift that side to side a little as well. Double jointed knees that get fantastic range. And you can see that the legs are pretty well proportioned here, which is nice, even for how lanky he is. And then down at the feet, there's a ball hinge. So the foot will hinge back all the way. Wonderful. Forward, pretty far. Also great. And then there is an ankle rocker. That's decent. It's kind of at an angle, but if you finagle with the ball hinge, I think it'll be fine. And then a toe hinge. That's pretty decent. It's a little bit loose. And it only goes up this far, but I think it'll be okay. And it's sculpted in a decent spot. So I think that's all right. So as expected, fantastic articulation on this guy. Now, if we're going with anime accurate poses, he's not going to be the most dynamic since he kind of just does his wand and says gravule. But he's your action figure. You can pose him however you want. And I think you can get some really great action poses out of him. Oh, I forgot to mention, or show at least, the ball hinges on the back of the coat. Get really good range. You do get kind of like gapping here. So I would have preferred soft goods, but if they had to go with this, I think they did a pretty good job here. Like you can angle it and finagle it to hide the gaps. And it's soft and doesn't get in the way. So I think this is a good compromise if they didn't have the budget for soft goods for this one. I don't think they started working on soft goods till after this guy came out, at least. On to accessories. He comes with fist hands on him in the package. Some open hands. Thumbs up hands that can also be used for holding things. One left gripping hand and one right wand holding hand with the finger pointing out, so it's like kind of positioned on the wand. And then one hand holding a locket and one hand that's also gripping but slightly differently and has a peg on it. To go with the locket holding hand, he does come with a locket. It's silver and in a flexible plastic, so you can put that on him. And then for that gripping hand with the peg in it, he comes with this bottle. This is for one of the scenes early on in the anime. And that looks really nice. It's painted well. It would have been nice if it was a clear plastic, but I think this is fine. So for that wand holding hand, here's the wand. It's just in a brown plastic, but he holds it well and it looks nice. And then for that gripping hand, he also comes with this mandrake And this is really silly. This is a fun accessory. It's sculpted well. The face is painted on there nicely. He's all cheeked up on the back. There's some wrinkles on the back of the head. And this is just really silly. I ordered the Figma Lyos from Delicious and Dungeon, and this will be a fun accessory to go with him. Put this in the hand. The top green part here comes off. And you can pop this back in and just have him on his own or whatever. So I really like this accessory. This is fun. For alternate faces, he comes with another neutral face that looks similar to the one that came on him. The same face? I think the mouth is slightly open on this one. But it's pretty similar to the neutral face that came on him in the package. Then one where he's looking down. That'll be useful. They do that a lot when casting the spells in Mashle. One where he's looking to the side. And one where he has the mouth open yelling. Again, all these look really nice. They did a great job with the faces. They're painted well. The earring on all of them looks nice. And the magic lines on the face and eyes are super clean. So no complaints here. So a really good spread of accessories overall. I really like this little guy. He's a lot of fun. I feel like they're not going to continue the MASH line, but they packed a lot in with these figures, so. But all the faces are great, and maybe an effect part would have been nice. Like some sort of magic gravule effect part would have been cool. For size and comparisons, Lance is standing at about 6¼ inches tall. Here he is next to the SH Figuarts Mash and the SH Figuarts Teen Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. The proportioning is a little bit different for the Mashle figures because they're a bit tall and lanky, so I think that they match Teen Gojo the best just in terms of thinness and head size. I like Lance's proportioning better than Mash's. Mash's head size throws him off a little bit and makes him kind of scale weird with other figures, I think. Here's a Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen, for example, and the head size is much smaller on Mash, so I feel like it makes it feel a little difficult to fit in with some of those figures, but Lance's head size is pretty close to both of these, so I think he's going to scale a little bit better. I still like Mash, though. Here he is with the SH Figuarts Naruto and Kaiju number 8 for a bit of a taller figure. And then for a couple of domestic figures, here he is with the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Nightcrawler and NECA Last Ronin Michelangelo. Here he is next to Porchy. Why are you like this? What do you mean meow? Come in here. You got your beans in the way. Don't knock them over. You're a criminal. A butt that blots out the sun. My goodness. Overall, I think this figure's great. I might like him even more than Mash, and I like that figure a lot. He could use some shading on the cloak and clothes so he's not just plain blue. The elbows could be sculpted a bit better, and maybe one complaint for posing is that the ankles are a bit small, so it does lead to some toppling sometimes if you don't balance him well. But other than that, I think these figures are fantastic. They pose super well. They weren't super expensive because they're on sale because nobody's buying them. And they're from a really fun anime. And they come with a ton of good accessories. So I definitely recommend any of these. I don't know if I'll get Dot Barrett. Maybe. He's fine. I liked Lance and Mash more, so that's why I got them. And I think Dot's okay. If they do continue the Mash line, I think Rain Ames would be cool with an effect part for his ability. I don't want to spoil it, but he's got like a cool thing that would be a cool accessory to hold. Just go watch Mashle, and if you like Mashle at all, treat yourself to one of these figures. They're great. I think you'll have a lot of fun with them. I know I am. Just posing them, Even though Lance doesn't pose in any like crazy poses and he just puts eyes on and says gravule, I'm still gonna pose him in cool action poses because that's what he's made for. He's fun. This is especially fantastic coming off of Reno Ichikawa. That was just disappointment for me. So this is just one of those figures that makes it fun to collect and pose figures. Let me know if you've watched Mashle or if you plan to, and if you have any of these figures, or if I've convinced you to pick one up. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.